DC Fandom 2021 is close with finally some new looks at the two big DC games that are coming, and it's about time because since Injustice 2, the last major DC game, Marvel put out Spider-Man on PS4, Marvel's Avengers, Miles Morales, and are going to launch Guardians of the Galaxy and Midnight Suns, likely before we see Gotham Knights. Like where DC was dominating the superhero gaming space with the Batman Arkham games in the 360 and PS3 era, they've completely skipped the previous generation aside from Batman Arkham Knight and the before mentioned Injustice 2. And will we see Injustice 3 during this DC Fandom event? I just want to go over what we can expect in general, touch on those two big DC games we know are coming, and look at Warner Bros. As a whole, because it looks like they're going to have a massive 2022, of course including Hogwarts Legacy. If you like the Big Sunday videos, then totally leave a like on the video, would really help me out. And let's go. The trailers for Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League are more than 1 year old at this point, and we really haven't seen any big blowouts with new footage since then. They did release a new key art for Gotham Knights for DC Fandom, where we see the 4 playable characters: Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, and Red Hood. Batman is of course dead in this game, so we pick any of these heroes and you can play the game single player if you want, or invite one other player in drop in and drop out co-op, and you can both play the same character, by the way. Also leading up to DC Fandom, we got a close-up at Batgirl, and we of course know that there will be outfits for these heroes, and I really hope we get this Robin suit that Andy, an ex-developer on the game, shared on Twitter. Really like it. Other developer merch also hints at other looks for the characters. And that is the state we're currently in. We're looking for small details on this game because all we have are trailers from August 2020. Gotham Knight Updates on Twitter is on top of it, by the way, also sharing figurines for the game. So it really seems that Warner is preparing a big comeback. We are so thrilled for DC Fandom and can't wait to share more of the story and our main antagonist, the Court of Owls. We are looking forward to the show on October 16th, and this was put on Discord. So seems like the focus will be on the main plot of the game and the enemies we get to fight, with the official Twitter account hinting at this too. So high chance we get a new gameplay demo where we are maybe introduced to these enemies. I'm really curious how the game looks 1 year later, and I would be shocked if we did not get a release date or at least a window saying spring 2022. Let's not forget that the trailer last year ended with 2021. The game then got delayed in March. So I think we're looking at an April or May 2022 release timing. I don't need it in March, that's already super crowded, as PlayStation game size perfectly highlights, but that is just for personal wallet reasons. The other DC game that wants to launch in 2022 is the next title from Rocksteady, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It's set in a richly detailed open world metropolis. The game's original narrative follows the 4 Suicide Squad members as they take on an impossible mission to save Earth and kill the world's greatest DC superheroes. That was the latest description we got for DC Fandom next to this awesome key art. The cinematic trailer did not really do it for me last year, so I really hope they do a blowout similar to Gotham Knights last year, so that we get some actual gameplay as well and some substantial details. Suicide Squad updates on Twitter, I think it's the same owner as Gotham Knights updates and Avengers updates, like your work. They did point out that we see a new weapon for Harley Quinn in her close-up for DC Fandom compared to the cinematic last year. And last year we also learned that there would be a variety of weapons to customize and skills to master. So I want to see that in action, I want to know what this game is. Because it's kind of wild that I'm more excited for Gotham Knights, which is possible of course, but looking at Rocksteady's pedigree, you would think that it's the other way around, right? So I hope that that changes after October 16th, and also just delay the game to 2023 already. Sure, Batman Arkham Knight launched in 2015, and then I'm not counting the Arkham VR game, but I have a hard time believing that we see Gotham Knights and then 6 months later Suicide Squad. That would be pretty wild. Warner also has Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga finally coming in spring 2022. I remember seeing that game at E3 2019, which feels like a lifetime ago. At Gamescom, we of course had that new trailer, which looked great, but again, it came paired with the delay at the end. Sure, it's a different audience, but I do think that Gotham Knights will likely launch close to this game. And what about NetherRealm? Because they usually launch their titles in April and May too. And looking at the track record here on Wikipedia, we see that they make a Mortal Kombat game, and then an Injustice game, then Mortal Kombat X, then Injustice 2, and then Mortal Kombat 11. So you would think that Injustice 3 is up next, right? And that would be a cool announcement during DC Vendome. But there are actually rumors that NetherRealm is prioritizing Mortal Kombat 12 over Injustice 3 instead. And Jeff Grubb, who has been right many times before, heard this from his sources. Reason being that the studio could still be sold off. Maybe you remember this rumor last year that AT&T was looking for buyers for the Warner Bros. Gaming division. It seems to be on hold now, but it makes it smarter for NetherRealm to work on their own IP instead of Warner properties, because maybe they will be sold off in the next year and then they're working on a DC game. See, I would love to see Injustice 3, I really like that series, but I do think that Mortal Kombat 12 makes more sense, with them maybe a reveal at the Game Awards and then also a release in 2022 in the spring like every Mortal Kombat game. That would be 3 years after Mortal Kombat 11. We are now seeing Mortal Kombat X on PS Plus, and it also usually indicates that something is going to happen with the franchise. But yeah, in short, I think DC Vendome will only include Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad, but I would love to be wrong. So then, looking at the Warner Bros. Release schedule, we got Back 4 Blood, of course, a publishing deal on October 12th, the LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga Q2, Q3 2022, Gotham Knights in 2022, Suicide Squad in 2022, and yes, Hogwarts Legacy in 2022. And every Sunday video, I ask you to leave a question in the comments that I might answer in the next Sunday video. And 2 weeks ago, I got a question from Alan asking, where is Hogwarts Legacy? We don't have patience anymore. Give something or we will riot. First of all, chill out, Alan. Second of all, I would be shocked if we did not see Hogwarts Legacy this year. That trailer that we got was also more than a year ago at this point. And yeah, it was slated for 2021. Also got delayed to 2022. I would be shocked if we went like a full year without a new trailer. So I totally think we will see it. And we actually got a rumor from Millie A video game analyst on Twitter, noting that we will see it this month or at December's Game Awards. Then you might be, like me as well, who is this person? Why should we believe this? Well, back in September, on September 30th, she noted that Bluepoint was making an original game and a remake, and that it's 100% not Metal Gear Solid. Now this week, Sony bought Bluepoint, and indeed, they're making an original game and not Metal Gear Solid. She had some other things right as well, and if we just look at it, Game Awards makes the most sense. It's the biggest stage that is still happening this year, unless Sony does maybe a PlayStation experience, which I doubt. So yeah, I think we will see it there. It makes a lot of sense. Curious about the release timing. September 2022 is my bet, or a little later. Makes me again think that Suicide Squad is a 2023 game. Let's not forget that both Gotham Knights and Hogwarts Legacy are launching on PS4 and Xbox One as well. Suicide Squad, a next-gen only game. So if one gets pushed, it's likely that one. But to be fair, I'm talking about all these Warner games with my Avengers jacket here. I just want to know about Monolith Productions. I say it every freaking Sunday video where I talk about Warner games. Shadow of War, almost 4 years old. What the heck are they doing? I actually did talk about what they might be doing in my previous Sunday video about the big Nvidia leak. You can watch it by clicking on the screen. Big week ahead with Far Cry, of course, and a Valhalla update. So a ton to go over. Will not be back next week with a Sunday video, I think, because we're knees deep in Yara. So I will skip 1 week. Maybe the week after that I do the Sunday video about DC Vendome. I think that's what's going to happen. But we will see. Just stick around. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on social media, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.